We're rolling.
You heard it, camera girl said we're rolling. Sharp Customs, man. We're rolling. You can see these 34 coops here in front of me. You've seen them all before. I am going to, oh, listen. Did you see me drop it? I dropped the pin. Did you hear it? No. It's so quiet in here tonight, you could hear a pin drop. we, Sunday night, I'm a NASCAR fan. We've got it paused on the TV. We're getting ready to watch the LCQ for the last chance qualifier for the Madhouse down in the southern states. Something I look forward to. It's not a points race, it's just an exhibition race, the Clash. But I watched the heat races last night. It was okay. It was okay. Nothing to write home about, but it was okay. You know, kind of nice to see that they're not at the LA Coliseum this year. You know, they're down in a historical southern stadium. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But yes, the coops, man. We got the coops out, eh? We got Stevens. We got Stevens coop. The reason I had these out, I actually had a visitor last night. Local fella from the area stopped by, and he was interested. I thought he was interested in buying my old Rayco chassis, roll cage, bits and pieces, whatnot, and turns out, no, he doesn't want to build a buggy. He doesn't want to build a buggy. He wants to build one of these hot rods. So I'm gonna scooch just past the camera, girl. I'm gonna scooch. So I made up a template of the actual chassis. When I made my steel chassis just out of sheet metal, and I let him borrow this pattern. He traced it onto another piece of cardboard, and that's what he wants to build. He wants to build one of these, not the full-blown, not with the fenders. He wants to build, you know, a street rod, kind of like this, you know. So this seemed to, he's just getting into the quarter scale, and yeah, he is really, really fascinated over the way I build them. Low budget, you know, grinder for a rear differential. You know, you can make your own homemade chassis. You can choose to use you know, a pocket bike motor, a scooter motor, a weed eater motor. You know, the list is kind of endless. I want to run this one. We're going to try and get this out in the next, hopefully within the next week. I'd like to get this one out with that 4-stroke weed eater motor. I'm waiting for a day where the parking lot across from my street is kind of clear, because I'd like to get it out there, because if this motor's going to fail, if it's going to have a meltdown, I want it to do it now. So, because I want to powder coat the frame, and if I have to swap out the motor and create new motor mounts and stuff for this one, I'd like to kind of do it now. And I do have a nice little Zanoa 2-stroke. I have to buy a couple pieces for it, a coil, a clutch, you know. And yeah, I'd like to mount it now, you know, because the mounts always change, and it'd be nice to get this frame powder coated. I got a bunch of pieces on this one I have to strip out and powder coat. And now that I got my big oven down here for powder coating, it'd be nice to do a whole bunch of little pieces together. We got this coupe sitting on a box. This box is going to a fella. I'm sure he doesn't care if I mention his name. Lou is his name. It is one of these cars, but it's the full kit. So it has the the bottom, the fenders. It's got the hood, the side panels, and I threw in a bunch of extra stuff for him. I gave him two grill shell shrouds. I gave him 2 sets of side panels, so he can kind of pick and choose. I gave him 2 firewalls. This is what I consider the hot rod firewall. It's cut back. The other one actually sticks out like this, the original, because think about it, these cars, these cars back in the day had like a 4-banger. They had a 4-banger in them. Maybe a straight 6, but I think in most cases a 4-cylinder. Flathead, no doubt. So they didn't need much room, but when you opted to, swap out the 6 or the 4, flat, you had to kind of make room, so you had to chop back the firewall. So I give that option in the kit. I give that option. I give 2 firewalls. I give the original. I will actually show you what the original looks like in a second. This is what I consider the hot rod. It's stepped back, to accommodate a V8. Yeah, I think I'm going to hook this up in the next few days. I'm going to put a steer. Everything works. I've got a makeshift, I don't have a brake mechanism on it, but we don't need no stinking brakes. I'm going to put a steering servo on it. And yeah, I'd like to get it across the street in the parking lot. And I don't care, even if there's some snow, maybe it'll be maybe we'll do some mad donuts in the snow with it. But I gotta try it out because I gotta see if this motor's gonna have a meltdown. I'd rather have it happen now, so I can retrofit a different power plant in it. But yeah, this box, that baby's shipping out tomorrow to Pennsylvania. It's nice to know that people still want the stuff that I'm fabricating. Fiberglass wise, this box here, this little box, this is it's on its way to Australia, believe it or not. It's a couple blower packs that I printed out 3D specifically. The guy wanted a specific type of blower. He wanted the Mad Max style topper with a different lower chamber. So I did him 2 various styles. He thinks he's only getting 1, but in the box there's a little surprise, because that's what I do for the people who buy the shit from me. I always give them a little value pack inside there. It's like they think they're getting 1 or 2 things. No, they're always getting double. Trust me, they're always getting double. Why? Oh, why the hell not? Because I can do that. I can do that for my customers, and that's what I do, man. I provide for the people. I go above and beyond to make people, especially in this industry, quarter scale industry. I just jumped over tonight, believe it or not, I just jumped over and I posted some of my 3D printed engines in RC drag boats. That's pretty cool. A lot of them, they run electric, some of them run gas, but they like to have that static. They like to have that static model engine sitting in the back of their drag boat. And I was like, I didn't really want to go there because I've been so busy just with the, you know, the quarter scale car guys, and it was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll post some pictures of the, you know, the 3D prints and engines and stuff that I'm doing, and we'll see where that goes. You know, might get me. You know, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. My mission is to sell enough 3D printed stuff to pay for my 3D printer, and if that's going pretty good, and if I can get there and I can do that, you know, I'm about halfway there. I'm about halfway there because I got a new one I want. Yeah, I'm obsessed with the 3D printing, but the new one I want is, you know, it's almost 4 times the price of the one I got now, but it's a kick-ass 3D printer. Yeah, the wife's got this frown. She's got a frown on her face, and she's like, oh, he's crazy. He's crazy, you know? And it's like, you know, but I try and justify it. I always try and justify it. Come on, honey, look, this one is doing so good. Like, it's, imagine having 2. Imagine having 2. You can be printing out some small things. I can be printing out some big things. You know, it's, yeah, whatever, man. You know, it's, I might have said this in a video before. You know, it was like when we got our chickens, our hens, you know, for our eggs. It was like, shit, man, we should have did this like, you know, a dozen years ago. We should have been doing this. You know, get the 3D printer, we're printing out stuff. And we don't tend to print out the crappy trinkety stuff. I do print out the odd weird trinkety thing, and I give that stuff away, you know, to my friends. You know, just did a hand like this, you know, FU is written on it, and I'm like, it's a keychain. Yeah, that's pretty cool, you know, stuff like that. It's a little, you know, 10-minute print, you know, 10-15 minutes, and it's like, you know, I like more practical printing on the 3D printer. You know, things I can use, you know, things that incorporate over to this part of the business, if you want to call it a business. You know, to me it's still just a hobby. I don't call it a business. I never called it a business. I just like to provide for you know, the quarter scale hobbyist. And whether I've got to drop, and I've got to drop into 5th scale, 6th scale, you know, to accommodate other people, possibly with the 3D printing, I'll do that. I'll do that because I can. Why the hell not? So I just had another request for one of these bodies, and these two were done with the flat panel. I call them the flat panel molds. They're a bit of a pain in the butt, and if you've seen the last video, you've seen how I had to kind of manipulate them to get them together. Well, I took a mold off of one of these finished ones. I'm going to jump over here, and I created my own molds. Oh, look. There's the fake fan spinning to let me know that the wood stoves are cooking. And it's going. It's going. I can feel the heat, man. That wood stove's just pumping out. But anyhow, back to this mold. So this will be the first time that I actually get to use. It's 4 pieces. You know, you have 1, 2, 3, the other side 4. But it's going to be interesting to actually do a layup inside of these molds and pop them off and have, you know, the same as those. Have a one piece. Now there's logistics. That's what I call it. There's logistics to when you're building inside a cavity like that. And I learned that a couple years ago doing the trucks. I have to blow air through this while I'm, you know, while I'm doing the fabricating. And then we've got these undercuts. They're going to be a little tricky. But all in all, I think it will be okay. So when I was talking about the firewalls over there on the other cars, I almost forgot. This is what I consider, see these squares? This is what I consider the stock style firewall. But I provide this one as an aftermarket kind of piece with the counter. It still has a countersink like this, but the whole thing is pushed back because you can't see it in. Let's have a look on the inside. So on the inside, that shape, that contour there, you cut it about 1/4 of an inch along there, and then the hot rod, what I call the hot rod style firewall, you just, you glue it on. You have to fiberglass it on. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. I have yet to use this mold, so it's going to be very interesting. And yeah, that'll be interesting to watch. Maybe we'll, come on, my viewers know I'm going to shoot a video, definitely, maybe not doing the layup, but maybe doing the unmolding to see how this one actually turns out. Because when you work in a cavity like this, you got to have a lot of air movement. Weird things can happen, let's just say, because of the chemicals. It's the styrenes in the chemicals, and yeah, there's weird things that happen. I just found some air bubbles that I'm gonna have to repair. Those. Didn't see them before. And tonight I was actually, I was actually going to do a video tonight on, I was going to fire up my oven sitting over there, and I was going to take a bunch of parts off of Steven's 34 coupe. I was going to take some parts off of my 34 coupe. They're all made of like sheet metal and steel and type stuff, because I had these set of zoomies. I've had them sitting around for a bit, and my good friend Jeff brought me over. These are for his electric GT40. Okay, it's not the ball of snakes, but he did a damn good job on creating these pipes off of a model motor for his electric GT40, and I'm telling you, I can't wait to show you all pictures of this car. This car is gorgeous, and I don't even think he's gonna try and run it. I hope he runs it at least once when the weather gets nice, because this car is just it's just phenomenal, man. He did such a beautiful job on it. There's other guys out there working on the GT40s, that they got from me, and they're doing fabulous jobs too, and I'd love to show. I should probably like snapshot pictures and maybe print them on my my home printer, so I can show you guys, just because we shoot raw. We don't really insert pictures into the video and stuff like that. We don't work like that, man. We just, what I say and what I show you is what you get to see. And I should probably print out some pictures, and I could lay them out here on the table and you could have a look at them, because there's some pretty fabulous builds going on out there of things that bodies, the GT40s, the bodies that I've created. And it's like, some of them are in the wow factor. Let's just put it that way. Like if you've seen the motor that these go on, these are going to be powder chromed, and that was kind of the video I was going to do tonight. I was going to do a whole kind of powder coating a whole bunch of little parts and whatnot, and then I changed my mind. I changed my mind because I got those 34s all sitting over there, and it's like, shit, might as well talk about those 34 quarter scales, you know. But yeah, it's 34 day. There you have it, man. Sharp Customs. Share, like, subscribe. I know you all know the routine. You probably get tired of me saying it all the time. Look at this guy right here. You gotta look at him. He's gotta be in the video. He's gotta be in the video. He's just sleeping away in the chair. Aren't you? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's such a good boy. Oh, yeah, you're such a good boy. He's such a good boy. He used to be so damn rowdy when we were trying to shoot videos. Now look at him. Hey, hey, he just turned a year old. Hey, he just turned a year old. He's like, yeah, whatever. I don't want to be in your stupid video. Just give me some beer, and I'll be happy. Because he is a bit of a beer hound. I don't give him much. You know, I'd have the, whatever they call it, ASPC, whatever, all over me if they saw me feeding him beer. Hey, he loves it. What can I say? You know, Sharp Customs. Love you all. Peace. I'm out.